let's do alcohols and derivatives by focusing on the Iupac namings of alcohol derivatives. So we have the first one here. So you can start with the first one. Let's count the number of carbons. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is pent, and we can see that as carbon number 2 from this group here, okay, as carbon number 2 there's a methyl. So the first one will be 2 methyl, okay, 2 methyl. Then we can see that this is pent, so we are going to say pentane. Now this is a group which has a carbonyl bonded to a chloride. So this one we call it, we add OYL, okay, so it will be 2 methyl pentanoyl, then we're going to say chloride. So this is for the first one. So the first one, it is 2 methyl pentanoyl chloride. So this group, just remember that you add OYL, then you put the chloride or the halogen will be given. We are saying we add OYL because we can see that this is more like a ketone, okay, that's where O is coming from. It's a ketone, and for ketones they have a substituent which is ON, okay, they have this substituent, but because this is bonded to a chloride, so we just get O, then we add LY, then chloride, okay. So that is the name of the first one, which is A. Alright, so let's look at the second structure. So the second structure we have, so this second one, you can see that it has this group which is a cyclopentane rather. Then it has also an amide group there here, then with a carbonyl group, okay. So how can we name this structure? So we are first going to count the number of carbons we have. 1, 2, okay, we have carbon there and the other carbon there. So 1, 2, at carbon number 2, that's where we have the cyclopentane. So we are going to name it as 2, that's where we have cyclo. Okay, let me write it below. So we are writing for this one, mind you. So that is 2 cyclo. So 2 cyclo pentyl. Then the next thing we need to consider here, this structure just have two carbons. Because it has 2 carbons, we can say aceta. So aceta is for 2 carbons, so acetamide. But if you don't want it to be written in this manner, you can also say, or you can call it as 2 cyclo, okay, 2 cyclo, then we say pentyl. Okay, so 2, it is eth, right? It is ethane. So it is ethane, so we're just going to add amide, so ethanamide. So you can also call it like that for this structure. Okay, let's look at the third one. So the third one, which is this one, see, you can see that for this particular one, we can name it as 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3. Then there is this oxygen there. Okay, then we can start from this carbon, group 1, 2, 3. There's a methyl at position number 2. So because there's a methyl at position number 2, we are going to say 2 methyl, 2 methyl. Then this side, so 2 methyl, that's methyl at position number 2. We are considering this side, so 2 methyl there. Then this is 1, 2, 3, so it is prop. So I'm going to say propyl. This is an ester actually. This group is an ester. So I'm going to say 2 methyl propyl. Then this group here, which is this side, so this is the group which has a carboxylic acid. Then this is the group which has an alcohol. So 2 methyl propyl. Then this side 1, 2. So it will be 1, 2, 3. So it will be propanoate. So the parent chain is actually carboxylic, an ester. Okay, so propanoate, like that. 2 methyl propyl propanoate. Then let's do the part D. So part D, what we have is this structure. This is cyclohexane bonded to oxygen. So if we count, it is also an ester group there. So we are going to say, because this has how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 carbons. So it is but. Okay. Then we have an ester. Then we have this cyclo. So we are going to call it cyclo. We are doing part C. Okay. So part C, we are calling it cyclohexyl. Then the parent chain, it is an ester which is butanoate. Okay. Because of butane with an ester group, so we add OH at the end. So it is cyclohexyl butanoate. Okay. Then let's do the last question, which is part E, on the Iupac conversions. So this part here, you can see that this part there, that's a structure which looks like this. This is a tet-butyl. Okay, so if we see something like this, this is a tet-butyl, and we can see that there is a cyclopentyl this side, But there's also an ester bond. So what can we say this structure is? So this is a parent chain. So we're going to say this tet butyl. So we're going to call it tet. We're doing this one. Tet butyl. Then we have this parent chain, which is a cyclo. It has the 5 rings, so cyclopentanoate. Okay, so that is the name. So it is tet-butyl cyclopentanoate. Let me just write this properly. Cyclopentanoate, because this is an ester. But if you want, you can even call it as the same structure. You can also name it as, since we are going to consider this carbon, at this carbon there is one methyl this side, there is this methyl, there is another methyl here. Okay, so there are 2 methyl. So we are going to count 1 2, then we have 1 2, this is an ethyl. Then we have the methyls attached. Okay, so this is an ethyl with 2 methyl, so they are both at position number 1. So you can also say 1, 1, this same structure, this same one, 1, 1. Then we have 1 2, an ethyl. Okay, 1, 1 on 1, this position from this functional group. So we have these 2 methyl. These are at position number 1 of the carbon. Okay, so it is 1, 1. Because there are 2, we are going to call them dimethyl. Okay, then we have 2 carbons there, making them ethyl. Okay, 1 2, so ethyl. Then we can see that there is this structure here, which is a cyclopentyl. So I'm just going to call it cyclopentane. Then this one is a group which is an ester, also known as a carboxylate. Okay, so we can call it 1, 1 dimethyl ethyl cyclopentane. Okay, so let me write it properly here, because the name is a bit long. So we said this same one, at position number 1 we have 2 methyl, these 2 methyls there. So it is 1, 1, 1. Then dimethyl, this same structure, dimethyl. Then there are 2 ethyl, 2 carbons there, this carbon and that carbon, so there are 2, so it will be ethyl. Then we have this, which is a cyclopentane, then we have this group, which is an ester, so this is just a carboxylate. So carboxylate. Okay, so you can also call it as, in short, if you don't want to call it as tet-butyl cyclopentane, you can also call it as 1,1 dimethyl ethyl cyclopentane carboxylate, this same compound. So this is where we end. Don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.